Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 6 here on Lapis Lakeside for the Flower Festival event, and we are going to be starting off with 1,900 sneaky snacking and also 20 diamonds for going to bed on time. That's fantastic. I was not expecting that one. All right, let's go ahead and grab our sleep points. We have another 100, which puts us at 6,867. And for our daily lottery, we have a master biscuit would be nice, but I'm pretty sure it's not in the rotation, so I'm just hoping for the impossible there. We did get an energy pillow, which those are actually kind of helpful to get every now and then just to kind of resupply. It's always good to have a few on hand just for when you need them. All right, and let's jump into this sleep report. Hopefully something interesting. I know we've gotten a couple of shinies this week. Another shiny would be fantastic, but I don't think it's going to happen today with how this week has gone already. 9 hours, 15 minutes of sleep. A lot of dozing spikes in there. Interesting. 13% dozing, 44% snoozing, and 43% slumbering. Does look very balanced. It's dozing. Okay. Again, pseudo balanced, so we will skew more towards the dozing, but can get anything. Let's see, hopefully we'll get about like 52 million, somewhere around there. 53.2 million. Someone told me in the comments yesterday that you need like 71 million to get 8 spawns, so that's probably not going to happen this week, but we did get 7. It looks like a good mix of sleep styles in terms of the starage. That's a new one. That is a new one. That's good. And I see a Bulbasaur down there. That is something we want. Mankey again, also something we want, but not a high priority at the moment. 2 Bulbasaurs actually. So we got a lot of stuff I want. We got a Pichu, Chikorita, 2 Bulbasaurs, Cleffa, and a Dragonair. And then of course the top belly Mankey to round it all out. I don't know why I'm getting excited and pushing buttons too quickly. That's what causes the game to crash. I need to chill out. At least causes it to crash on my phone. I don't know if anybody else is having the same issue. That is the final sleep style for Mankey. So Mankey is all done and dusted for now until they finally add the 5-star sleep styles. Who knows when that's going to be? Maybe for the 1-year anniversary we'll get some. All right, who's hungry? Dragonair's hungry. Come on. Oh, come on. 4 of the 7 I wouldn't mind catching. And none of the 4 that I want are hungry, but 2 of them are. I mean, we do have a lot of biscuits now thanks to that gift, so maybe it's time we start getting a little loose with the biscuits. I think Chikorita is the high priority right now, because we do have a good Venusaur. We have a solid Meganium, but we definitely need a better one. We don't have a berry finding Meganium. And we do have Chikorita at level 10 friendship, so we will get a guaranteed gold if we can take it home. We can. It's still hungry. So at least we'll get that. That is the highest priority out of everything that showed up today. I think for the Bulbasaurs, I'm just gonna do... just because in my head it makes more sense, but I don't think it actually matters. It's probably just some kind of logical fallacy that I'm operating under, but feeding one Bulbasaur and then feeding the other has, for some reason, a better chance of getting a critical hit, but no, didn't work out that way. I think I'm going to leave it there. We've seen Bulbasaur a lot this week. And we do have a couple Bulbasaur incense, I believe, so we can force a Bulbasaur spawn if need be, and then that way we'll be able to take it home with a bonus biscuit. But I don't want to spend any more Poke Biscuits than that. We already spent 5 today. 5? 4. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, 4. Spent 4 biscuits. I don't want to spend any more. This is a hard call. Dragonite, definitely the Dragonite candy. Not even a question. Not Dragonite, Dratini. The Dratini candy. That's the more rare one, and it's a pseudo legendary, so people definitely need as much as they can get. And speaking of as much as we can get, we're gonna get 2,279 research XP and 4,897 dream shards. But all right, let's check and see. Is this the Chikorita of our dreams? It's level 13 and gentle. I feel like we don't see gentle too often. Not berry finding at level 10, but a decent mix of ingredients. Actually, probably the ideal spread of ingredients for a Chikorita, in my opinion. With berry specialists, having a variety of ingredients is nice because then they can just kind of throw in a little bit of random stuff here and there. You're not really putting them on the team for their ingredients necessarily. So it's nice to have a variety. Again, that's my opinion. Ooh, energy recovery bonus. That is helpful, but not what we wanted. Helping speed M. Unfortunately, no berry finding. Ingredient finder S at 50 and skill trigger S at 75. Both useless to me. And skill level up M at level 100. All useless abilities. The only ones that actually help and would be useful for our Chikorita are the top two. Level 10 and level 25. Because since I typically don't collect inventories from my berry gatherers, those are the only two that will actually come into play. And gentle nature is main skill chance up and energy recovery down. So the positives wouldn't actually help me. The negatives would actually hurt me. So yeah, this is not going to go great. It looks like this is not the Chikorita of our dreams. That helping speed at level 25 did give it a decent boost up to 69. So that's pretty nice. But the rest of it is not so great. Only a total PR of 59. Either way, like I said, none of the extra sub skills beyond level 25 are actually helpful. And it's not berry finding. So the fact that it didn't have berry finding means it's definitely going to the professor. But that's more Chikorita candy for when we do find the one that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and move on. And let's see what we've got for the rest of the evening, morning. That's the one. I don't know, day, something. Who knows? It does look like we have new news. What we got? Of course, the announcement of the fire type week. We kind of figured that was coming. That adorable Charmander and Cyndaquil. All of them are adorable, honestly. And we also have, was this yesterday? No, this is new as well. General notices, maintenance in version 1.60. 1.6.0. Okay, well, let's get that out of the way and we can talk about the more exciting stuff after this. Thank you for playing Pokemon Sleep. In order to update the app's version, maintenance will be conducted during the following time period. Maintenance period, April 29th, 8 p.m. This is my local time, 8 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. So, typical maintenance period. Whatever that maintenance period is for you normally. We've got maintenance this Wednesday. That is Wednesday. Let me double check. Oh no, sorry. Monday. I don't know why. I'm used to them doing maintenance on Wednesdays. Anyway, that's this Monday coming up, April 29th. We have maintenance, so be sure to work around that for your dinner or whatever meal that may interfere with for you and your local time. So just be aware that maintenance is coming. Points to be updated. The new features. Oh, here we go. Preparations for new events. For details, please see the announcements. Yep, we got that already. Addition of a new item, fire type candy. Using a fire type candy on a fire type Pokemon, either from your bag's item pocket or from the Pokemon detail screen, will exchange it for that Pokemon's candies. So, works exactly like a handy candy, but only for fire types. Makes sense. Makes me wonder if that's an event item that we're only going to have access to during the fire week, or if it's going to be a long-term thing and we're going to get other type candies. Yeah, I just said pretty much that. Oh, that is interesting. That's a good thing they point out, that if you use it on a Flareon, you'll get Eevee candy, which does make sense. Flareon uses Eevee candy anyway. That makes sense. Addition of, oh, well, there we go. Addition of other types of candies are scheduled for later updates. Answers my question. Maybe I should just read on. Addition of a new relaxing sound, Waves. That could also be a good one. I did try out the campfire sound, and it is actually a pretty nice one. So maybe Waves will be a good one too. Game content. Partial adjustment to helper Pokemon's energy recovery from cooking. The following change will be made to the energy recovery of helper Pokemon who already have 100 or more energy. Before the change, they got 0. After the change, they will still get +1. So the bare minimum that your Pokemon will ever get from cooking, well, eating a meal is 1. So that's good. At least you get something. I mean, 1 energy, not really that big of a deal. I still feel like it's a very underwhelming feature to get energy from eating a meal. but at least they are trying to change it in some ways. So that's good. I still feel like it needs to be bumped up a little bit. Adjustments to which Pokemon appear in some areas. Oh, you'll be able to encounter the following Pokemon in the listed areas: Vaporeon, Flareon, Bayleaf, Meganium, Quilava, Typhlosion. Okay. Quilava and Typhlosion, Croconaw, Feraligatr, Espeon, Umbreon, and Glaceon, all going to be available at Greengrass Isle moving forward. That's good. And then at Tau Hollow, we're going to have access to Arcanine, Quilava, Typhlosion, and Houndoom. Okay. So I kind of like that they're adding Pokemon to different islands. I also like the idea of them maybe like later in the future moving Pokemon. Okay, this used to spawn at Cyan, but now it's going to spawn at Snowdrop, for example, or vice versa. Kind of moving it around to keep it interesting. But maybe that's just me. But that is good that we are going to now have access to Croconaw, Feraligatr, Quilava, Typhlosion. I don't believe there was any way to encounter them before. And the same with Arcanine and Houndoom. I think the only way to find them was to evolve them. I don't think we ever had access to them in a sleep style, if I remember correctly. So that's good that we are going to finally be able to get access to them. That opens up more sleep styles to help people get through that sleep style dex and unlock the rewards for doing so. So that's good. All good changes. Nothing for me to really complain about other than feeling that the energy from eating a meal is a little underpowered. But other than that, everything's good. So seems like they're trying to make the game better. Always nice to see the devs doing what they can to make the game better. But let's go ahead and move on. So we have the event Fire type week, which we expected was coming. It looks like our assumption was correct that May 6th was when it was going to take place, because that's when Vulpix drops. So the Fire type week event lasts from 4 a.m. on Monday, May 6th until 3:59 a.m. on Monday, May 13th in all areas. In all areas, that's good. If you'd like to prepare for the Entei research event, during which Fire type Pokemon will be particularly helpful, we encourage you to befriend lots of Fire type Pokemon. During this event, you'll be able to meet Pokemon of various sleep types regardless of your own. In particular, Fire type Pokemon will be more likely to appear. Also during this event, you'll be able to use the mini candy boost function, which we also had during the Electric week. So that's good, which doubles the effect of Pokemon candies. Great opportunity to raise your Fire type Pokemon. It was limited in the Electric week. Let's see if it is here. In addition, one of the Pokemon that visits during sleep research will for sure arrive hungry. I think that was also the case in Electric type, but that one I'm a little fuzzy on my memory. I may be mixing that one up, but I think we also had that then. This applies to only one sleep session per day. This effect applies separately from the hungry effects of friend incense and good camp tickets. So that's a good time to use your good camp tickets and friend incenses if you want to guarantee a bunch of hungries that show up, because you can get a minimum of 3 every day if you do so. Cool. And the example is exactly what I just said, so never mind. On top of all that, you can get great rewards like Vulpix Incense, which is good, through limited time missions during the event. Definitely going to be trying to catch a Vulpix and see what that's about. At the very least, having a Vulpix or a Ninetales will boost, I'm assuming, will boost Entei's main skill, because I'm assuming it's going to work very similar to Raiko's. How to progress in the event: simply tap the sleep button during the sleep period during the event period. Event bonuses can trigger in any area, so you can go to any island, which is good. I love when the events can take place on multiple islands rather than forcing everyone to Greengrass. That is nice. I would like to see more of the big events like the legendaries doing that later. It'd be nice to go to Tau Hollow, for example, for the Entei research, but we'll see. Maybe that'll happen eventually. The bonuses are on all days. During sleep research, one Pokemon will for sure be hungry. A few Pokemon of different sleep types will appear. So pseudo-balanced sleep type again. And then certain Pokemon will be more likely to appear. Like, we'll get into those later. Pokemon that are... Oh, here we go. Never mind. Pokemon that are easier to encounter during the event. The following Pokemon are more likely to appear. The greater appearance rate, looks like that's all there is Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Vulpix, Ninetales, Growlithe, Arcanine, Flareon, Cyndaquil, Quilava, and Typhlosion. Very good. The greater appearance rate for these Pokemon applies only to the separate areas where each Pokemon appears, which I believe they do all appear on Greengrass, but I think now they also all can appear. Maybe Vulpix and Ninetales. I forget where they spawn. I'll have to check here in a minute. But maybe Vulpix and Ninetales also show up at Tau Paulo. So that may be a time to work on Tau Paulo if you've got it at a decent island bonus. Could be a good time to go there and try to narrow that spawn pool just to have a higher likelihood of getting the fire types. Let's see. Never mind, they tell me right here they do spawn at Tau Paulo. So it looks like the entire list does spawn at Tau Paulo. Yeah, the entire list is at Tau Paulo. Arcanine is not at Greengrass. That's the only difference between Greengrass and Tau Paulo, is that you can't find Arcanine, it looks like. Yes. And then Growlithe also shows up at Cyan Beach. So if all you want is a Growlithe, you're not worried about Vulpix, go to Cyan Beach, and higher likelihood of Growlithe, I guess. But I don't expect anybody's going to be going to Cyan Beach. If you are, let me know. I'm genuinely curious about that. The mini candy boost is the same as before. It doubles the effect of the candy, but you use more dream shards, 4 times the usual amount of dream shards, and you can only do it 50 times per day. So that is a good function. It's nice to just boost up a couple of Pokemon. It's not like the full candy boost where we can do it on every Pokemon that we want. So that is good. I don't like the cost of it though. 4 times the dream shards. There we go again. Is still kind of steep in my opinion. Each day of the Fire Week rolls over at 4 a.m. Just as always, the notes about the event all are the same as before. I don't see anything that's different. So yeah, we are not going to go through all that. It's all the same stuff that we always have in every event. Please note, this is the one I'm going to read out. Please note that none of the Pokemon with the greater appearance rate will appear in Snowdrop or Lapis. So while you can get all of the other effects at Snowdrop or Lapis, you won't see any of the fire types for the event on those islands. So unless you just really don't care about Vulpix and you have all your fire types, then, you know, I wouldn't go to Snowdrop or Lapis. That just seems counterintuitive. But let's go ahead and move on. We've got 46 community reports with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 that doubled up. Very nice. No level ups today. And then, come on, there we go. I've already got a main skill trigger from Flareon on the pot, so I don't need to worry about it. You gave me 10, that's good. Skill trigger there. We are starting to run low on a lot of the ingredients for the, what are we making? I forget what it's even called. Man, I just drew a total blank. Skill trigger on you is very good to start off with. I cannot think of it. What is it called? Greengrass salad. Yeah, we see we don't even have enough oil to make it. But that's exactly why we have the Slowpoke Tail Pepper Salad as a backup. I'm going to save those mushrooms because we do have a salad that we haven't made yet that I want to make. Actually, hold on. That may be worth making right now. Nope, don't have enough. I thought I needed 10. I need 12 mushrooms. Never mind. So let's see. Let's throw in all this sausage. This is unfortunately going to use some more oil, but I think we have a fix for that here in just a second. 24 corn. We didn't get as much from Dragonair as I was hoping I would overnight, but we are definitely going to have to swap in the other Toxicroak to get that oil back up. An extra tasty would be nice. Finally, first extra tasty of the week. And that's going to be, it seemed very low. It seemed like it was only a double. Aren't we supposed to have triple throughout the entire week and then 4.5 times extra tasty? It seemed extremely low. Maybe I'm just doing some bad math in my head, but but I feel like that should have been closer to 75,000. I really wish I would have paid attention to everything in that now. Maybe, that was actually very disappointing. I am kind of upset now. Just a little bit. That seemed extremely low. Let me go back and check. I thought for sure that we had triple extra tasties for the entire week, right? Let's see, we've had a lot of news since Flower Festival. There we go, Flower Festival. Let's see. Yeah. The multiplier for extra tasty dishes will be different depending on the day. On every other day that's not Sunday, it will give 3 times as much. So even on the base of the tail pepper salad, that should have been... Yeah, that should have been like at least 60. But I really feel like that should have been close to 75,000. Unless I am just grossly misunderstanding how the calculation for extra tasty is done. I thought the extra tasty multiplied the final result. So I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into this. I thought extra tasty multiplied the final result, and I'm pretty sure it said like 27,000 before it got multiplied. So that should have been around 75,000, 80,000. But again, maybe I am just completely misunderstanding how the extra tasty is calculated. Oh, we didn't even collect the corn from you? No wonder it looked like we had so little corn. Let's see. The last couple things I want to do, I want to click on you. There we go. I'm glad I waited. Now we have extra 10 for the next meal. Perfect. We are going to swap out. We need some oil desperately, especially for tomorrow. How do I want to play this? Actually, first things first, we need to go see how many tomatoes we have. We need to see how many tomatoes we have. That's going to be the deciding factor. 49. We actually have quite a lot. That is enough for... It's 14 for each cook. It's 28, 56. We only need a handful more. Victory Bell could probably cover that. We have enough potatoes also. But potatoes are good to stock up for the next week. So I think I'll leave Victory Bell on the team to continue to stock up potatoes and tomatoes, especially since it can boost its own production. Actually, no, Victory Bell's not even on the team right now, are you? Edit the team. No, you are not. But we're gonna swap Venusaur out for Victory Bell. V for Victory. No, not for you. There we go. And then, you know what, to start you off right, speaking of energy pillows and how useful they are when you need them, we're gonna go ahead and drop one on Victory Bell. Hopefully that will give us a skill trigger pretty early on. And then you're not really helping much with the corn situation. So we definitely need some oil production. Where you at, bud? There you are. Thought about putting him on the team last night, but trying to avoid XP if possible, just to keep him from hitting level 30 and getting that ingredient pool diluted with the sausage. And then I think we're good for now. Might have to switch later on. Yeah, I think we're good for right now. Probably gonna have to switch later on to get more corn, bring that Dragonair back in to try to just max out as much as we can with the corn. But for now, we're just gonna have to wait and see how things go. Or I do something wild and crazy and I actually put Dragonair back on the team for the corn. Just to see how things go. which is unfortunate. It did have a skill trigger, and I think because I put it in the box, it's back at 100% energy. Either that or it was exactly enough to put me at 100. Yeah, I think we're going to put Dragonair back on the team. And we're just going to hope that we get enough corn from Dragonair. If I end up with enough oil by the end of the day, then we could swap Beware back in. But for now, let's see how we're looking. All right, so we've got potatoes. We have 36. Let's see, oil. We don't have much. 3 oil. Yikes-a-roni. And 29 corn with 49 tomatoes. Okay, so we're only doing good on potatoes and tomatoes, which makes sense. They don't take much, but for oil, we need like 88 of them. Jeez, yeah, that's gonna be fun. We're probably gonna have to have both Toxicroaks on the team today and tomorrow. Definitely should have had them on the team yesterday, I suppose. But definitely today and tomorrow. Dragonair and Beware are definitely gonna have to come in. Actually, I didn't even think about it. We could drop Flareon from the team as well. Yeah, yep, let's do that. Let's drop Flareon from the team because we don't need the pot space trigger since Sundays boost our pot space anyway. So we don't need it to make the salad. Made a lot of circular changes today, but hopefully it'll pay off. Haven't had a berry specialist on the team yesterday. Yeah, I swapped him out yesterday, so it's gonna be interesting to see how things go. Really going all in on this green grass salad for this experiment we're running, but we're gonna see how it works out. Let's go ahead and collect our mission rewards. Get Snorlax to Master 1. We're so close. We actually might end up getting the ingredient tickets. That's funny. That's funny. Get Snorlax to Ultra 4 for a small dream cluster. Yeah, we're putting all our hopes and dreams to get to Master 3 on cooking tomorrow, and I don't know if that's a good idea, but it's an interesting experiment nonetheless, so we're gonna see how it goes. We need, what, 250,000? Yeah, 250,000 to get there. It's not looking good, but we're gonna try. But that said, that is all I have got for today. Thank you for watching the video. Y'all have a wonderful day, and until next time, later, dudes.